Come in, Andrew.
Okay, so I came running in. So Ellie and I are going to discuss the sitcom Seinfeld, which Ellie likes a lot, and I've seen every episode of Seinfeld.
Me too.
I've liked it's a very funny sitcom. I know my father, he got me this checklist, he printed out every episode, and we would highlight every episode, so I know for a fact I've seen every Seinfeld episode, including the ones that aren't in syndication, like the Puerto Rican Day and many others. I know in that episode, Kramer, buffoonishly burns a Puerto Rican flag, and they took it out of syndication for that reason. So I've seen every episode, basically.
Me too. Seinfeld may have been a show about nothing, but was really funny stuff. And on Netflix, I watched every episode of it, and I still enjoy it because it's really funny. And The Golden Girls is another favorite of mine.
The Golden Girls is a good show. I know, although we like Seinfeld, we agree that the season finale, where they all wind up in prison, was not very good. We think Seinfeld screwed up the finale, because you grow, even though the characters were kind of bad people, you grow to like the characters, and to see them all wind up in jail and get their karma for being bad people was just kind of like sad to see, even though it was a good recap and they brought all the characters back.
Well, at least if you're going to be in a jail, might as well be in there with your friends, right?
Yeah, at least they're all going to prison together, and they'll get to gossip about the other prisoners together, I guess.
Yeah.
We were also discussing the show Curb Your Enthusiasm. We were saying it's written by one of the same writers, Larry David, and Ellie hasn't seen many episodes.
I haven't seen Curb Your Enthusiasm at all.
I haven't seen many episodes, and I think it's a similar kind of humor. Obviously a different cast of characters, obviously a different concept, but some people say Curb Your Enthusiasm is as good, if some people might even argue it's better. I guess it all depends what your preference is.
Yes, it does.
You have any other comments about Seinfeld?
Well, I used to watch Seinfeld when I was a kid with my mom, and I wasn't sure what it was about. But then I got older and I was like, oh, it's a show about nothing. Yes,
it's a show about ordinary life, going to the diner. It's very groundbreaking, innovative. They even have pitching an episode where they pitched the concept to an executive at a TV studio, and he's like, "What's the show about? It's about nothing." It's the joke. Yeah.
Well, sometimes nothing is funnier than something.
Exactly. Sometimes shows about ordinary life is funny. But actually, if you really had a show about nothing, somebody's like sleeping for 12 hours and literally doing nothing, that would kind of be boring.
Of course it would be.
But usually in Seinfeld, weird shenanigans and comedic things happen to them, even though it's about ordinary life.
Yep, and it's relatable.
Yes, but yeah, it's relatable to a lot of people, especially people in the New York area who are familiar with New York City. And that is what it is?
That is what it is.
That is what it is.